Do you want to know who the wealthiest individuals in Bangladesh are? According to Wealthy People, Bangladesh is a rapidly developing country. Bangladesh, as a developing nation, has a large population of very wealthy people. Business, structural programs, seafood, and the fabric industry are all viable options in the country. Bangladesh, on the other hand, has a vast human resources. The majority of the persons on this list of the richest people in the world are entrepreneurs, businessmen, and industrialists. We now know the names of Bangladesh's 5 wealthiest men. Salman F. Rahman. Salman F. Rahman's wealth is estimated to be $1.5 billion. The chairman of Bangladesh's biggest corporate enterprise, Beximco Group, is a white hipster sporting businessman with a beard. His decisions have a direct impact on the 48,000 blue and white-collar individuals that work for him. Factory workers at Beximco earn an average of $110 a month, which is more than Bangladesh's minimum wage of $43. In the United States, a full-time leased wage worker earns an average of $1,256 a month. Crushed bones and seafood are imported and exported by Beximco from France, Belgium, the United Kingdom, Germany, and the Netherlands. In case you were curious, the bones aren't just for Halloween decorations, they're also used to make bone grist, which is bone that has been pulverized to the size of rice grains. Paint abrasives, gelatin, which is used in confectionery, and blue salmon are all employed in the production of activated carbon. His photos were taken from the back of a two-tone Mercedes Maybach S650 worth $413,000. The regal twin Bangladeshi flags proudly displayed on the hood of the obsidian black and chrome automobile are immediately recognizable. Suitable for a person who is a cabinet minister, a member of the Jaya Sangrad, and an advisor to Bangladeshi Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Returning to the Maybach, the V12 model offers the utmost luxury and security. Let's start with the luxury. Each 20-hole forged wheel costs $5,000, the two-tone paint alone is $12,000, the extended leather package is $15,000, and the Maybach distinction is visible when you get up close and personal with the plush upholstery. Whenever Salman wants to hear some Maybach songs by HUD billionaire Rick Ross. When he rides, he may listen to music through the Burmester 3D high-end sound system, which has roughly 24 speakers dispersed across the inside and spin out front and back tweeters. That's fantastic. Given that a premium German-made Burmester can cost upwards of 130,000 euros to install at home, installing one in the automobile is a lot more cost-effective option. The flowing lines in the interior, which extend across the dash, cost $1,500 plus $8,500 for the extra comfortable rear seat kit, which includes foot recliners as well as heated and cooling cup holders. If the sun is too strong and you've forgotten your shades, just adjust the amount of light that enters the panoramic sunroof using the Magic Sky control feature. Let's speak about car security. This Maybach has been redesigned to be bulletproof, with some of the interiors hollowed out and ballistic steel installed. Salman's other automobiles, a 96,000 BMW 740 LE and a 94,050 Toyota Land Cruiser Prado, are in the same boat. It's impossible to be too cautious on Dhaka's busy streets. Salman's financial situation isn't perfect. The development of a property in Namundi was suspended because of the 2.28 billion takas, $26.5 million, in outstanding debt ascribed to the billionaire's name. The mansion was put up for auction, and the loan was owed to GMG Airlines, a company in which he held 50% of the stock. Salman got to fly about in a $6,750,000 Bombardier 8, one of the safest jets you can fly in when he wasn't in their black books. Because wealth in poor countries is difficult to judge from the outside, the international media journal Forbes does not identify any Bangladeshis as billionaires. However, it appears that everyone in the know in Bangladesh knows who has significant resources. Musa bin Shamsher. Musa bin Shamsher, a businessman, CEO, and chairman of the Data Group, is worth an estimated $1.5 billion. He goes by the moniker Prince Musa, and it's commonly known that he's an international arms dealer who deals in fighter jets and tanks, as well as human trafficking. He is thought to have sent 30 million Bangladeshi laborers to work in other countries. Prince Musa's Corvette expenditure is worth mentioning, as super thick Hermes ties are $220 each, and matching Hermes pocket squares cost $170, just as Agent 47 in the Hitman series games. In the West, we got Mr. Porter's best-dressed men, Josh O'Connor's, Jeremy O'Hara's, and Evan Mock's. In Southeast Asia, Musa bin Shamsur has indeed been crowned Bangladesh's best-dressed man, wearing $5,000 to $6,000 suits. To expend the amount that Prince Musa supposes to spend on clothes, you'd have to spend $2,600 on a high-end Tom Ford suit. For a tailored suit in something like Super 100 walls, you'd have to go to H. Huntsman or suitmaker John Green. Musa bin Shamsur is claimed to never wear the same suit again. In truth, each suit is worn only once, although he wears suits every day. That's more than $2 million in claims he makes every year. We know he has tons of suits, but what's more astounding is that the tycoon has staff who unlocked his closet doors for him instead of using computerized sliding closet doors. He also has a collection of shoes that he keeps in briefcases, in terms of what American Christians would consider church-going shoes. It's on par with the sneaker collections of American rappers and athletes. Who knows how much they cost, but I'm curious how diamond shoes offer him an advantage against Macklemore's $8,000 Air Jordan 1 Legends of Summer Edition and his ultra-rare $1.2 million signed Air Jordan 6P shoe cleats or a foot up. Furthermore, the prince claims that he only ventures on the sidewalks a few times a year to ensure that his priceless footwear remains immaculate. Prince Musa keeps his suits on display in a palace that seems like it matches inside a Hitman game level. The palm tree and veiled property features painted ceilings like the Sistine Chapel, golden leather chairs, stained glass windows, and a 3-story chandelier, and is strongly guarded by soldiers in military gear. The person who has now been dubbed horribly wealthy by the news has photos of him across the globe. If you studied economics in school, you'll never miss whose property it is. If you don't obtain a job after graduation, at least you're getting to justify why people used to remark. Fortunately for Prince Musa, he never had to explain how, as a PhD. An economics graduate of California State University, he always found a way to generate money. In Bangladesh, the income disparity is significant, with 90% of the population living in poverty. On the other hand, Prince Musa's fingers are encrusted with a one-of-a-kind 16-carat ruby, a $100,000 emerald, a $50,000 ruby, and a $50,000 diamond ring. Although a pen can be more powerful than a sword, Prince Musa's pen is far more valuable than most. It's a $1 million Mont Blanc special creation. The 75,000 diamond-encrusted 24-karat gold pen is the world's third most costly pen, coming in behind the $1.4 million Mont Blanc Bohème Royal pen and the $7.9 million whole gold Tibaldi Nocturnus pen. His wrist is kept on freeze by a one-of-a-kind $5 million bespoke Rolex, the crown gem of his 20-plus Piaget Rolex anti-soul luxury watch collection. He also reportedly gave journalist Christopher Erickson a Cartier Santos timepiece worth an estimated $12,000 as a farewell gift for interviewing him. The diamonds don't end there, he wears them around his wrist cuffs and his belt buckle on a regular basis. Dinner hour for the entrepreneur rivals that of the fictional Downton Abbey gang, with 20 to 30 prepared foods available for selection, buffet style, with staff on hand to assist him with everything he needs. His wife, Kanais Fatima Chowdhury, feeds him while blowing and stroking his hair. This isn't something that only the wealthy do, it's only this man at the dining table. The gilded chairs and drinks serve as a stark reminder that some individuals exist in another world. He used to bathe in rose water, and a 42-gallon rose water bath might spend him nearly $10,000 if 4 ounces of rose water cost $9. He claims that he no longer does it since it has become too much for him. His car isn't quite as luxurious as you might imagine. He travels in the back of a Mercedes-Benz E250, which costs $66,500. At the very least, you'd anticipate an S-Class from him, but he does travel along in a motorcade in style. What's more, he does not really pay money on taxes. Although death and taxes are unavoidable for most individuals, Mr. Musa admits to paying very little tax. Tariq Rahman. Tariq Rahman's net worth is estimated to be over $1.5 billion. He is a politician from Bangladesh who now serves as the vice chairman of the Bangladesh National Party, BNP. He inherited much of his riches from his father, Zia-ur Rahman, who became Bangladesh's 7th president in 1977 and was assassinated in Chittagong on May 30, 1981, in an army coup d'état. Khalida Zia, Tariq's mother, was Bangladesh's first female prime minister from 1991 to 1996, and again from 2001 to 2006. She is still alive, but in 2018 she was sentenced to 5 years in prison for corruption and theft of $252,000. Arafat Rahman, his younger brother, died of a heart attack in 2004, so it's safe to say the Pakistani-born billionaire has had a crazy ride. This Bangladeshi boy spends a large portion of his fortune on legal bills. He was charged with corruption and condemned to life in jail but has not served much time. He was granted bail in 2008 and relocated to the United Kingdom. He now lives in London, England, where he leases a gorgeous $2 million mansion in the Kingston region. He drives around London in an obsidian black Lexus GS430, which retailed for $55,675 when it was first released. He also chauffeurs the Familia in a mayonnaise-colored Cadillac Escalade with top trim for $110,000. With $1.5 billion to spend, I'd acquire a caviar-colored Lexus LS 500 for $85,000 and a Summit White 2002 Escalade 600 for $106,000. When his father was Army Chief of Staff, he drove a Mercedes 4-cylinder 200cc, while his mother prefers to sit in the back seat of an English white $550,000 Rolls-Royce Phantom. Sajeeb Ahmed Wazed. Sajeeb Ahmed Wazed, sometimes known as Sajeeb Ahmed Joy, is a billionaire Bangladeshi-American IT consultant and political campaigner. This is another member of a Bangladeshi political dynasty. He is the child of Sheikh Hasina Wazed, the current Prime Minister of Bangladesh, and his grandfather Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, who served as the country's first and only president from 1971 until his assassination in 1975. We all know advisors can be overpaid, but Sajeeb is on a whole other level. He's the Bangladeshi government's IT policy analyst, and he's worked to develop a more digital Bangladesh. It's a stretch to envisage digitalizing a nation where so many household regions don't have access to reliable power, and this has rendered Sajeeb a divisive and much reviled public figure. The one feat he claims made him wealthy is almost physically impossible. The Hunter Biden of Bangladesh, who is the son of the country's highest-ranking official, had a posh American education. The individual earned a bachelor's degree in computer science from the University of Texas at Arlington, which would cost an out-of-state student $43,696 for each of the 4 years, plus roughly $20,000 in books, food, and on-campus living expenses. When you consider tuition, living expenses, and books, his master's in public administration from Harvard University would have cost his family $92,011 per year. He started Wazed Consulting Incorporated in the United States, and he lives in Falls Church, Virginia, a rich neighborhood 8,026 miles from his hometown. In 2006, he paid $996,875 for a brand new 4-bedroom, 4.5-bath single-family home on Bell Manor Street, as well as $749,000 for a second property on Martin Estate in Alexandria, Virginia. That home, though, might be bought. Since he's virtually royalty, we're guessing he drives a $157,000 V12-powered BMW M769, with just that Charlie Brown zigzag threading on the leather upholstery, gently whispering billionaire. Syed Abul Hossain. Syed Abul Hossain is a Bangladeshi politician and businessman with a net worth of $1 billion, ranking him the world's 5th richest Bangladeshi. He has been a member of the Bangladeshi parliament since 1991 and is currently a member of the BAL. As a politician, the Desar village Madhurpurite native earns $90,000 a month and lives in a lavish home worth around $10 million. The home's unique feature is the ability to open the shade control and hand-stitched blackout curtains at the press of a button. Ahmed Akbar Sabhan. We do not even realize how much money Ahmed Akbar Sabhan has, but we do know that his company, the Bashunhara Group, has a staggering $50,000 crore in assets, or $5.884 billion in US dollars. He is estimated to be worth around $500 million, which isn't quite a billion, yet we included him and a few more multimillionaires on this list due to their comparable wealth. Staring at $500,000 in $20 bills as a poor child in the Bronx feels a lot like becoming a factory worker earning $43 a month and looking at Ahmed Akbar's Rolls-Royce Phantom when you don't have a savings account. He also drives about in a hulking $156,000 Mercedes-Benz G-Class SUV and, on rare occasions, a huge $41,000 Hummer H3. Ahmed was inspired to build the $100 million Bashunhara shopping complex, and he has extended that sentiment into football as a co-owner of the Abahani Limited Dhaka Football Club, which is led by Salman Rahman, and he also holds interests in the Sheikh Jamal Dhamandi team. In Bangladesh, 13,881 new billionaires were created in 2021, despite or perhaps because of the COVID-19 pandemic. The overall number of wealthy in the South Asian country now stands at 999,118. Within the next few years, a couple of added billionaires will emerge from Bangladesh's 168 million plus people. Everything appears to be going well for the ultra-wealthy.